But we're kicking off with a story that you've been hearing in our news bulletins throughout the course of the morning. There's a call for action against Ennis business owners who allow their properties to fall into disrepair. The latest meeting of Ennis Municipal District has heard a call from the Mayor of Ennis, Gael Councillor Mary Howard, for traders to be compelled to keep their premises in a good state of repair in the context of the recently completed public realm works. Clare FM's Seán Lyons was at the meeting and began by speaking with Councillor Howard about what type of enforcement she's seeking.
This broadcast package on Clare FM is funded by the Local Democracy Reporting Scheme.
Over the last couple of years, I have put forward a number of motions for the local enhancement paint scheme for the streets of Ennis, for the businesses and the shops and the premises along those. And it's great to see over 200 different premises have been or taken up the offer. But there are some that haven't and don't seem to have any interest in it. But it was out of frustration that some of the businesses have put an effort in, have done up their shop fronts, have repaired their gutters or their downpipes, but the business next door hasn't done so. Whereas I was saying, there's an obligation to maintain your property to a certain level in the town centre.
Kind of a social contract or an unwritten rule.
Yeah, and even I think maybe planning could have something on that to look into that, to see if there's something there historically. So it's just, we have spent so much on the town centre. It's looking amazing. The paint scheme has been taken up by over 200 premises. So these ones that are not taking it up or that are choosing not to, that they should be obligated to do something with their premises. And if they're not going to do something with their premises, they either lease it out to somebody or sell it on.
And obviously we'd be conscious of not going into detail here, but would there be some businesses that have been engaged with, who've been asked to participate, who've been asked to apply for funding and haven't done so?
The NSMD team have been amazing. They will actually take people by the hand and go through the process with them. You can put the phrase, bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. So it's just, the scheme is put in place. €1,000 is a lot of money to any property owner in the town of Ennis or any small business that's there, in order to do up the front of the building, to get that woodwork back in shape, to fix that gutter, to fix the downpipe, to paint the front. €1,000 goes a good distance. So it's there. The paint scheme has been reopened, and I'm just urging anybody with a property in the town centre to please paint it, do something to improve the appearance of it, because everybody else is doing it. And when you've got a handful of businesses not doing it, it really is very important that everybody is making sure Ennis looks its best.
Do you bring this forward because business owners are complaining that their neighbours aren't, I suppose, keeping up their end, and that is kind of damaging the area and making their business look worse? Or perhaps more seriously, is it that you'd be worried about the impact it might have on footfall or maybe the tourism amenity?
Both. A number of businesses have come to me and, that they did explain, or they were quite frustrated that the other businesses weren't taking up the offer and weren't making an effort. And as I said, I spoke about it today there in the meeting. Yesterday evening and Monday evening in town was incredibly busy. I was in town between 6 and 9:30. I was watching the amount of traffic on the street, and it's great to see it, and the tourists and locals out walking and, going out for a drink or bite to eat. I want the whole town to look well, and I think it's really important that everybody does their little bit. And as I said, the paint scheme is there to support them. There are other grants available for derelict buildings, bigger money if there's a big construction job needs to be done. So I'm really just asking and encouraging anybody with a property in the town centre to make it look its best.
What levers are available to the council and the MD to enforce this, or is it just a case of encouragement?
We encourage, but also and we don't use it often. The Derelict Sites Act is there, CPOs. But in fairness, I think that we try to take business owners or property owners by the hand and say, listen, this grant is available, this is available. You can do this, or if all else fails, would you not consider selling or leasing it out to somebody who would be willing to bring us back to its former glory and open it as a business, or if it's a private home, live in it.
Fianna Fáil Councillor Antoinette Baker-Bashua, thanks for speaking with me today. At today's meeting of Ennis Municipal District, you spoke in support of Councillor Mary Howard's motion in relation to Ennis businesses and what she described as businesses falling into disrepair, some premises not maintaining their shop fronts to a sufficient standard. Why did you decide to speak in support of that?
I suppose it's a fantastic motion. It gets it out into the community, and maybe a lot of businesses just need a little nudge, or they had been putting it on the long finger. We saw amazing businesses now that have taken up. You see on Mill Road there, some of the buildings, they look absolutely amazing, all done up, all that dirty paint and smut from the road, all done, these beautiful buildings. And equally back into town, look, it just gives them a nudge to say, look what your neighbour has done, look at the shop next door to you has done. There's funding there, it is available. Apply for it and get,
Is the duty of care or the personal responsibility not being upheld in some areas?
Look, we all can put tongues on the long finger. And you want to see my own house up at home, I'd love if someone came and offered to paint it for me. That's what I'm saying. If the funding is there, this was an incentive, because in fairness the businesses suffered when that realm work was going on. So the council have given them this incentive to say, yes, you have. Okay, some of your building was maybe chipped, or the wood might have been gone in it. We're giving you this incentive. This money is available. Please take it and make your building look good.
And in the context of promoting the town, I think that was a theme today, promoting the town, making the town look good, and as you said, making Ennis great again. It's all the more important.
It is, and you could see, I suppose, when you see the good weather coming, and we've all been out in the street, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It looks amazing. I wish I could take credit for it. It was done before I came in, this initiative. But when you see it now, we need to get our heads together. It can't be just one person. It can't be just the businesses. It can't be just the council. Everyone has to work together and make it good, make it look good.